Howdy, hombres! My name's L.A.zy, and welcome back to the letter. Last episode, the ghosts started haunting us at full force, turning the entire house into a blood-smeared hell that you see before you. We are playing as Luke, and everyone now is in the mansion now. Everyone is facing against the ghost. We're now locked in this room, and I'm guessing they're going to discuss on how to deal with the cursed menace once and for all. Other than that, I almost let Ash die in the previous chapter, which I immediately regret and immediately reversed. But without further ado, let's get into this. I need to get my accent up again. There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. Using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Oh, fuck off! Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 7 of us in this room. 4 of them friends at that. I'm guessing as friends, you're not counting Zach, Isabella, Ashen, and Becca. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same looks as them now. The menace has already gone loon, crouched in the corner muttering to herself, can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading look Lily shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind steel and feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why even Hannah has her cunning manipulative moments. She does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us in that day, if not to save herself? Lily did not show you the letter. You were the one who saw it with Hannah. I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you!
Luke, don't you fucking dare!
This is all your fault!
Piece of shit! Shut the fuck up already!
If I've died to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Put that knife down, Lucille.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
He's right, we need to calm down.
We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
Luke has lost it.
And blaming everyone in this room isn't going to get us out of this place. Please put that knife down, darling. You might hurt yourself.
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Buttercup! What about the children? Aren't you the least bit worried about them? That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
Jesus. Damn, I wish I could take a screenshot of this.
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose.
How could she do it on purpose? She's like everybody else didn't know about this curse. God damn it, Luke, get off your high horse.
Why no? Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Luke has lost it, officially.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I...
Suddenly Hannah steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes in the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Whoa! Nice! She merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye. Glaring at me, she might just rip my head off in this instant. Sometimes I forget.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way.
That Hannah is never the weak woman I believed her to be. How did I come to think of her as such? She used to be someone I can look up to, isn't she? When you look at her now, the way she stands tall facing a man like me, seeing what she has done so all those years ago, I can't help but think, am I not responsible for taking that part of herself away from her? Enjoy your time as Miss Luke Wright. What a bunch of shite. Realizing she can only look away when she reaches up and places a hand on my face. Gone is the anger, and only a soft smile remains while she looks at me with a shine in her eyes. 7 years we've been together. I've only been nothing but a piece of shite to her. Yet here she is, still smiling at me the way she has done so many years ago. It's impossible not to feel like a complete and utter trash like this. She has an uncanny way of doing that to me, really. Even when she takes my hand in hers and places it right on her tummy. Right where the 2 tiny babies are still grown. Ours.
Love, look at me. We've already talked about this. If we are still going to do this, it has to be the 2 of us. I will stay with you, but things are going to have to change if we want this to work. We can't keep doubting each other like this.
Not until we find a way out of here.
I'm sure we can. Maybe they know something we don't.
You're going to rely on them for that? These peasants who brought this on us?
Keep talking about us like that, and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She's always given the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her experience or her station in life. She's never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house only proven my assumptions, until now. Quietly she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we had to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me reminds me a lot of the way my own mom would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong. It's not a stare she's unused to showing. She's done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not too mature adults, well, it's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment there's only silence in the room. Steel, the big oaf, doesn't even dare break it. Neither does Feathers. Both clearly watching us, a bunch of wimps, these men. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again after some of the anger and tension is lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
A deep breath and exhale. Then she closes her eyes, the crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
we still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends in the room right after that, admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear small after dropping a bomb on us. This sit quite well with me. And patience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now, bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she's not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friend has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Stop hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right? Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
Oh boy, judging from that expression, it's not good. She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land up on the damned paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
The paper's useless? What the hell is she talking about? At the mention of the letter, all of a sudden, Mint stands. Almost forgotten she's here, her ramblings having faded away in the shouting. Without warning, she snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip there and there, but the way she glares at it, she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos.
There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them!
Oh, believe me, she's seen enough. She's been haunted by the same ghost.
Oh god, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she... Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. even Rose. And yet they're all dead.
Rose saw the letter. Or maybe she didn't. I mean, you even showed the letter to her.
I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing.
Why would you?
Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here. Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steele's been quiet this entire time. The sound of him talking, however, whispered as it is. It's the man just to catch us all off guard. We all paused, turning to him with likely the same questions in our eyes.
What?
I mean, I just remembered something a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
You mean what Andrew told you? Those were just stories, Zach. It might not even help.
Regardless, Steele pauses while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like, hope? Of all things, this nightmare? Hope? Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. Reassurance or confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them baffled.
Belle, what are you...
Becca, it's this place.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Then we keep it! And let everyone else in the future die then. Whoever stumbles into this mansion.
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, marching, millions. It's going to take years getting all that money back.
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
It's not only that. Think about it.
Then they proceed to tell some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out of great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it, as if knowing will help. But you lose these people. Wrong button again. Officially off their rockers. To think I'll be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? Being a general asshat? That's one hint. Of course it's all absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. The who doesn't have to be uttered out loud. There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell, it's in the reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes when they flicker over me, though only briefly. She's also holding information on her own, or perhaps the realization she just had. It doesn't matter. I know when people have slowly started to turn on me. How do they think I lasted in this cutthroat world? Betray them before they do the same thing to you. Put a knife in their back before they can act. Kill or be killed. Survival in a nutshell. What now? You going to throw me at that creature? See what happens to save themselves? I'm no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you?
This is bad.
Are you people implying that my husband, that we should just...
Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
Are you all going to stoop that low?
It's nothing like that, Ash. All we're saying is that maybe maybe he might be able to do something about this.
Drop it, you guys. We're not leaving anyone here.
Just like that, their bickering begins anew. Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with. I should just stab them, all of them, and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. Things in this room start flirting. Mark my words, I will flip the fuck out. Okay, let's see what's going on. What does the journal say? Everything's kicking up. Everything. Furious, paranoid, and trapped in the mansion with people he barely knew, Luke Wright threatened to take them all down with him. Luckily, before the hysterical man could harm anyone, something else happened. The voice had become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. Oh yeah, we read this. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. But to find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? I don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors with the only sane one doing the thinking. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. Burn the mansion. I'm going to regret this, I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Is she getting tired of it? Besides, someone had to act fast. Think fast. What else is the root cause of our problems with this place where the letter was found? We need to make things more complicated. It started here, while it won't end here. If what Lily said is true, then there is all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. We get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it! Millions! With a sign, perhaps a heavy heart. I opened one of the drawers in my study table, taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accepted, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. I just shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good.
Luke, this isn't the time.
Even more, I popped the cork off the ball and poured its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
Waste no time dousing the whole room. The smell of alcohol filled the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight, using blasted paper as kindling. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, a small fire soon turned to an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. The music is more disturbing a little bit. Fishing the liquor stocks in the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze that started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one off the many nooks I've stashed one. But there's no lack of it here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind, gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. And I'm sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonder of wonders. Though I suppose I can now say it has also saved my life. There's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon we finally found ourselves standing before the main door. A strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze is also starting in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, this is when she appears right again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs while her world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eye is the expression on her face. What a vile smile I've already grown accustomed to. No wonder her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only way I can think of to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. I'm done wasting time pondering over it. Over the exit just a few steps away. Doors finally opening through it, and you glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly she disappears. And now the mansion's burning. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me, for some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. It's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spinning over the vast expanse of the exploring countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries them into this room from outside, cool enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Okay, what now then? I'm guessing it's the ending already. Despite initial protests, Luke agreed with Isabella Santos, began dousing the place with alcohol and setting it on fire. Sure enough, as flames slowly engulfed the place, it returned to its original state, freeing them. Outside, at the first light of dawn, the mansion burned to the ground before their eyes. It's over. And really, what does the character journal say? No, not that. The branching tree. Let's see here. You missed a lot, though. Oh yeah, we're very close to the end then. Epilogue! We finally done it. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxborn City after the incident. Officers who investigated have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old, and those who know the truth, it was but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. There will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and the thunder booms across the city, some still claim hearing voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls for help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls, Luke and Hannah. Despite their problems, Luke and Hannah Wright managed to salvage their 7-year marriage. Now without its fair share of challenges, of course, especially for Luke. For the sake of their children, he tries. Although the man still fears fatherhood, afraid becoming like his father was to him. However, with a little help from Hannah, he eventually comes around, especially when the twins are born. He's still far from being a good father, he thinks he will never be. There are parts of him that will always remain unpleasant and will exasperate Hannah to no end. But even someone like him sees joy in this, in having a family. For the first time in a long while, he admits he's content. They're happy. Months after her recovery, Marianne McCullough heads back to her homeland, ready to close the chapter of a past she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. Although the terror of what she has witnessed inside their Ermengarde mansion still clings to her, she bravely chooses to move on for it, turning a new leaf by focusing on a new branch of her interior design company, and leaving her interior design company to explore in the hands of her secretary instead. Although she never returns to the city after, she is frequently seen visiting to check on the people who has become acquainted with within her years there. When finally accepted herself, she won't deny she's in a happier place now. Despite making the island branch of her interior design company her focus now, Marianne continues to cater to her most avid patrons and explore when requested. And after her work on the Ermengarde mansion, the right couple, particularly Hannah Wright, have never trusted another to handle the design for any of the place they own. Upon moving to their new place after giving birth to hers and Luke's children, Marianne's name is the first thing she calls. The woman was quick to fly back to the city at the socialite's summons, not only helping with the decorations of their new place, but also assisting with the renovations, much to Hannah's delight. Since then, the two women have kept a close friendship. Often, they can be seen going around town together when Marianne's in town, and Hannah can be heard recommending the designer to her peers during parties. And the city often kept an ear out for any gossip. One can't deny that both of them have found confident in the other. Oh, Zachary. With the help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own, something he has only dreamed of having as a child. But he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday. Client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde mansion easier, if not faster. While there are still nightmares with support from his family, his doctors, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's worried he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn to reality once his time affords it. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxborn's major academic circles, especially after writing what she discovered about Anston Village and the Ermengarde mansion. With help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure funding to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at local and international symposiums. Now, at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history, and was supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can ever begin to change people's minds about it, Professor Clark has warned her as such. She perseveres. Doing it not for herself, but for the sake of a history the future generation must never forget. No matter how disturbing her experience with the curse may have been, she remains the worrywart she has always been. Even after what she has seen, she continues to fret over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. If there's one thing that has shifted, it's her relationship with the people in their little group, particularly with Zachary Steele. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when he's swamped with work. Also seems to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. Maybe it's born out of their shared experience, or maybe the way they see each other has simply changed naturally due to the years they've known each other. Regardless of the whys, it's change the man welcomes and appreciates. In turn, he strives to turn kind gestures whenever he can. For all the horrors they've seen, who would have thought something good would come of it? Ashton is still a detective. Things have inevitably become strained between Ashton Frey and Rebecca Gales in the months following her confession. With their lives getting busier, the two have eventually drifted apart. Aww. Although neither talks about it, and the teacher still strives to forget an old love, it's clear that in Rebecca that there are still feelings left she couldn't let go of. If anything, however, this only has made it obvious how much has changed between them, and how much she has clung to the idea of Ashton from their younger days, the one that may not have been there in the first place, merely an idea from a starry-eyed young girl. There will be a time when she will be able to accept this, to move on from the hurt and to repair an old friendship that has fallen to ruin. Only she knows. And Isabella, she became an artist like she wanted. Aw, finally. With a newfound courage, Isabella Santos finally chose to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years with her blessing, she quits her job at Brea Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with the help from people close to her. With her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those who will ever disappear from her life has become a part of her, in the same way death is permanently taken from her. However, she is no longer afraid. With a brave face, she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she will be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting the scholarship grant from L.A.zy University, Isabella moves from Salemwell residences in favor of staying in a dorm close to her campus. Although Rebecca Gale is quick to offer assistance for the move, she does admit she will be missing her neighbor for more than 5 years. When all is said and done, she has become fonder of the girl over the years. With the shared experience over the curse, they've only grown closer. Isabella leaves with a promise to visit every once in a while. And even though she still jokingly complains about Rebecca's bossy attitude, she confesses that she also misses the woman's fussing. After all, in the place miles away from her real family, Rebecca is still the closest thing she has to a sister. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives have settled, Zachary Steele and Isabella Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. The project has been in the making for almost 2 years, after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artist. While merely intended as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of L.A.zy's upper-class and art enthusiasts. Oh, god damn it. While only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabella's names in the city's art scene, and has since been followed up by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet even with this unexpected overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a small project. He is their family as much as she is his. Following his success in bringing several major cases to a close, Ashton Frey received a recommendation for transfer to L.A.zy's lead agency against organized crimes, an endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance to ultimately bring Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Wright and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they're doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself, and take care of the man once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, and this time he never loses his drive, simply growing more determined after having finally found clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, the experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up, especially to those he knows that genuinely care for him. He still has a long way to go. He knows that, for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, he hopes that there will come a day where he no longer has to hide behind his own lies, a day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. On his days off, Ashton is usually seen loitering around Zachary Steele's studio, either to help him out on one of his pet projects or exasperating the other man on purpose. Either or, it's mostly the latter. At certain times he'll volunteer to model for one of Zach's projects, despite the photographer's reassurances that it's not needed. Regardless, Ashton insists, before complaining how meticulous the whole process is hours later, to Zach's utter amusement. Though sometimes they may get into small trivial arguments, things have stayed cordial between the two. If anything, the ordeal they've both gone through has merely strengthened a friendship the detective didn't expect to find in anyone. Between the lingering trauma and their measly attempts at normalcy, it takes a few months for the awkwardness to finally lift for both Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos. After several weeks trying to find their voice and remembering how to act around each other despite enduring affections. But once the unease fades, there is only their usual banter and rapper to fall back on, casual talk and the friendly jibes. And for both of them it's easy, like breathing, like coming home after another journey, comfort in spite of the things they have gone through. Their days may still be filled with petty arguments and light teasing, but in the aftermath, when all has been said and done, something constant has already been forged between them. The quiet, steadfast thing they can both hold on to as they both carry on. Okay, and that is it for the letter. Goddamn, that's 25 parts in, but goddamn, I love this visual novel to heck and back. I loved absolutely every single character. They were expertly written. And all of those who voiced them, they did an amazing job voicing them. They did an amazing job giving them all lives on, like, giving them all their specific lives. Um, what else? Uh, while the story can be a little bit cliche, because then again, this was inspired by several like cult horror movies like June-O or The Grudge, it is nevertheless very, very entertaining. And considering the amount of content that is still hidden in this game, like different alternate endings, alternate events, there's still shitloads left to unlock, but I'm gonna do that probably on my off chance if I ever pick it up again, but goddamn, I love this game. I'm gonna confidently say that next to Snatcher's my #1 favorite visual novel. This is my second favorite visual novel of all time. It's just the characters, the events, the art style for every single character, and the events that happen. They're all pretty good. I will admit that the appearances of the ghost do get a little bit old after a while. I mean, the very first times that I met the ghost, it was pretty hella scary, but when you encounter that ghost like in chapter 4 or 5, the scares tend to wear off at the time, but goddamn, I can't believe I started this game, I think, Tim, I don't even remember when, either September or October, and now I'm finished with it. I can't believe it still, but it is hella long. That's the one thing I can say about it. And that girl in the background, if I remember correctly, that is Takako in her normal form. Also, while this is one of the better endings, there is another ending called the True Ending, where only Zack, Becca, and Isabella survive, and characters like Hana, Ashton, Luke, Becca, they all die actually. But goddamn, Yang Yang Mobile, you did an amazing job in this visual novel, and if you ever plan something like similar to this, or maybe a continuation of this, I'll be sure to hella play it. I recommend this for anyone who loves visual novels or horror stuff in general. Oh man, the music is also awesome. That's an amazing singing voice. But, like, yeah, it is a very awesome visual novel. It is amazing considering that it's just the debut game of this small company. Damn. Third-party programs. freesound.org, soundsnap.com, Sound Bible, free sound effects, Sound Effect Factory, YouTube. Open Sans, Block Letters, Cambo. Thanks everyone for playing. Hope you enjoyed the game. It's been fun being part of the production, and I really appreciate the team's effort to incorporate what was suggested. Hope you get to see you somewhere again. Damn, no problem. You guys were amazing. And yeah. The best plot and backstory. Lenny face. Let's go to letter page 2. And again, there's the Lenny face. Letter page 2. If a sequel ever happens, although I highly doubt that a sequel will happen, I have no idea what they'll go with next. But if they are planning a sequel, may I recommend something to like a combination of Eldritch horrors, ghosts, and cultists. That's what I want to recommend. Okay, there's more to it?
Teal? Where are you, Teal?
What the?
Teal? Please? She's here! She's still here, Teal!
Oh, boy, what?
Help me! Please!
Wow. Shattered Fairy Tale. Dear you, If you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another, and we thank you for the time you spent playing the letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we deliver and bring you one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. Letter is, hopefully, the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and would like to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon account. You can also follow us on social media to get the latest updates. Our usual handle is Yang Mobile. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. No problem. You guys done an amazing job with this. Okay, and like I said, that is it for the letter. I absolutely love this visual novel, and I can't believe the series is at an end. There are many more endings, but like I said, I'm gonna do them off screen. Maybe I'll consider like recording the true ending for the future, but that is yet to be seen. So, it is with a heavy heart that I must do this. That's it for this video and this series as a whole. Thank you guys so very much who watched, and thank you Yang Mobile for offering this amazing experience. And hopefully, I will see you all next time. Bye bye.